No one knew. Even when Leo came
Please, Robert! Please, I'm here! Robert, over here, please! Please, Robert, I'm a big fan!
What does it mean to you to be honored by a fellow festival here in Santa Barbara?
Well, first of all, because I'm very familiar with Santa Barbara, because I grew up not far from here. And I used to play in a tennis tournament in Ojai. Yeah, for 3 years in a row, and I spent a lot of time in Ojai and Santa Barbara. I have friends here, surfed here. So I'm very familiar with Santa Barbara. It's a great city. So it's special for me because I'm a native Californian, so it's like coming home.
I'm glad to have you.
And it's smaller and it's more intimate, and I like that.
In your iconic career, what inspires you to play a certain role?
Usually it's is there a good story? And is there a good character to fill in the story? And where is the emotion to fill in the character? Those are the three steps that I'm interested in. And also if it's about the country that I grew up in, if it's somehow takes place in America. I mean, I don't go outside the boundaries of America for the stories that I like to tell. They're stories about the country I grew up in.
I mean, the Sundance Kid, Gatsby, it's the fabric of our remembrance.
Well,
in
you.
All Is Lost, what was the biggest challenge for you being the only actor in an entire film?
Well, I think the film, you can see what the challenge was. It was pretty intense. And it took a big bite out of me to do it because it was so physical, and wet. You're wet all the time. But I loved it. I loved the challenge as an actor because it gave me a chance to really go back to my roots, which started as an actor, with directing and producing and so forth. Sundance, it's all great. But sometimes it takes you further and further away from the thing you love the most, which is acting.
In that vein, is there any career goal that you would still like to achieve? You've done so much. Is there anything yet that you haven't done?
Oh, there's always more. That's the thing that keeps you going. There's always more. Always more to do, and also as things change, as times change, you float with change, and that creates even more new opportunities, and you just keep taking them as they come. But don't stop.
Never. No. It's been an honor, I must say,
Thanks
really.
so much.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Basically, I just wanted out and about. I wanted to get out and find my own way. But I didn't quite understand that at the time, so in getting there, there were a lot of difficulty along the way. And I think I must have had, when I was young, an outlaw sensibility, which eventually led, once I matured past that, to the idea of independence, which led to independent film. One of the reasons I like making Butch Cassidy is I could identify with that character. And I just felt comfortable being slightly outside the box. But it wasn't seen that way when I was a kid. I was seen as somebody off and different and maybe bad. It took a while to sort all that out. The studio did not want me. They tried everything to really keep me from being in the film because they felt that I would, and they were right, that I was not of an equal stature to Paul Newman. And they were right about that. There was a 13-year difference in our ages. That was another thing. I knew I could, and so the original title of the project was The Sundance Kid and Butch Cassidy. That was the original title. And that was because Paul was supposed to play Sundance because he'd played that kind of a character before in film. But George Roy Hill knew Paul from before when they were in days of live television. And he knew that the real Paul was much more like Butch Cassidy. And so when he and I met in a bar on 3rd Avenue, I told him, yeah, I can do Butch Cassidy. But they're just putting my name up because I'd done a comedy on Broadway. But that's not the part that interests me. I like the other part. And he got intrigued by that. We discussed why, and I told him about my background and what I identified with and what I was comfortable with, which was more of an outlaw thing. And he got interested, and then he fought for me to do it. Studio tried everything to keep me out of the film. And finally it settled with Paul and I meeting. So we met in his apartment in New York. And this has a lot to do with Paul as a person and why he and I had a lasting friendship. He said, okay, let's go. I want to work with an actor. And the fact that he supported me is what made it possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been in the film. So I always felt that I owed Paul for that. And then, of course, they changed the title to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid because he played Butch Cassidy.
It will be an understatement for me to tell you that tonight is one of the most important nights in the history of the Santa Barbara Film Festival. I teach a film appreciation class at Santa Barbara City College. I've been doing that for the past 11 years, and any of my students will tell you that I obsessively analyze the waterfall sequence from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid for them. The scene, of course, you saw it earlier. It has Paul Newman and Robert Redford cornered and left with no other option but to jump into a waterfall. And the Sundance Kid confesses that he can't swim, but he jumps in anyway. I've had some challenges in my life, but I've always clung on to that particular scene as a source of inspiration, motivation, and drive. In 1991, I was introduced to the Sundance Film Festival and the notion of film festivals. Of course, the Sundance Kid here was responsible for that. And I jumped into this amazing culture where a person could spend all day observing movies and talking to film enthusiasts for hours on end. 11 years ago, as some of you know, this unqualified man standing in front of you jumped at the opportunity to run the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. And my purpose in life became crystallized. An outcast like me channeled the Sundance Kid. And it has been the most fulfilling experience of my life until tonight, when I'm able to tell the person who has motivated me and inspired me for so many years, and I'm able to thank you for all you've done for all movie lovers out there in the dark, and for all film festival attendees worldwide, and for all festival directors like me. As if everything you've done for me wasn't enough, you agreed to come here tonight. Something that I know is not your favorite thing to do, but you came, and on top of that, you requested me to present you this award. And so I'm honored to present to you this humble token of appreciation to the man, to the icon who has taught me how to jump. And I'm proud to say to you that I can finally swim because of you.
Thank you. As I said earlier, I'm always flattered by something like this, but I am also shy. I don't know why, but I am. It flatters me and it humbles me at the same time. For me, it's always been about the work, and what comes after is maybe somebody else's business. But tonight, just let me tell you why I'm here and why it's special for me to be here. It's a little bit like coming home in the sense that, yes, Sundance is in Utah and so forth, but I'm a California kid. I grew up not far from here. I spent a lot of my time in Santa Barbara surfing and spending time in these mountains. So it's a little bit of like coming home. And the second thing is that something he just mentioned, which is the idea of the word community. I think community is a very, very important word. And when I came here tonight and I received this incredible welcome that I was not anticipating, it buoyed me. And I thought, what a wonderful vibe this is. It's genuine, it's full of love, and it's heartwarming. But it's also coming from a community. And you guys here in Santa Barbara have a community, and this festival is honoring your community. So I'm just really happy to be a part of it, and I can't thank you enough for the honor. I take this very, very seriously with humility and I hope some grace. And there's Leonard Maltin, who can't even get out of his chair. Thank you, Leonard. Thank you.